Hello ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today? I have a top 10 Mass Effect characters, and I made a top 15 Mass Effect characters in the past, but it wasn't a personal top 15. It was based on, a lot of it was influenced by other things. A lot of it was just me putting things together from a poll that I made in the BioWare forums of people's favorite characters, and I kind of just, made it from there. Some of it was influenced by my own personal stuff, but for the most part, it was based around other people. This one here is going to be my own personal top 10 Mass Effect characters, and I'm going to explain why these characters got in the spots that they were in. So let's get started with the top 10. In the number 10 spot is Kaidan Alenko. Now I know Kaidan Alenko is not a favorite by a lot of people. A lot of people let Kaidan die in Mass Effect 1 and they kept Ashley. I was one of the people that killed Ashley majority of my playthroughs. I think only one playthrough I killed Kaidan instead of Ashley. But the reason is because when I first played Mass Effect, I romanced Kaidan. And I stayed faithful to him all the way through Mass Effect 3. So that's the kind of thing, like, if I thought his shyness and the way he was acting in Mass Effect 1, like when you romance him, I thought it was cute. A lot of people just thought his personality was boring, but after you kind of like romance him and you flirt with him a little bit, he does get a lot more interesting. So because of this, because he was my first romance in the series ever, I had to put him on the list. So that's that. Coming in at number 9 is Kasumi Goto. Yes, I know a lot of people didn't like her, but me, I like her design. I like the way her eyes are hidden underneath her hoodie, and I loved her loyalty mission. Her loyalty mission was my favorite loyalty mission, and I like her mysteriousness and the fact that she's like a master hacker or a master thief or something. So she personally, and then she's an infiltrator, so I kind of like that infiltration kind of style to her, and I like her design. And overall, I don't know, that's the reason why she made my number 9 spot, because of her mysteriousness and her design, and because I had a lot of fun in her loyalty mission.
I am assuming direct control. I am beyond your comprehension. I am sovereign.
Coming at number 8 is Sovereign and Harbinger. Mostly because they have some pretty critical punchlines, man. Those punchlines be off the chain. And it's like, no one puts you through psychological warfare the way Sovereign and Harbinger does. All throughout Mass Effect 2, Harbinger is just repeating these words to you, talking down to you like you're nothing the whole entire game. Every time the collectors come around and stuff, you have to hear Harbinger taunting you in the background. And then meeting Sovereign was the first Reaper we actually met, and the things that he was saying when you meet him, you have that first conversation with him, it's like straight talk down. But that's one of the main reasons why the number 8, because I feel that their punchlines just don't get any better than that. They have the best punchlines in the whole Mass Effect series, and that's what puts them at number 8. And coming at number 7 is Jack. The reason why I like Jack is because she's pretty badass. Like, she's like that psychotic biotic. But basically, when I found out about her story and what she went through, I'm like, okay, I had a better understanding of her. And a lot of what she believes in, as far as like maybe relationships and people being, fake, and just all of the things she's been through, it kind of just made me feel sorry for her. And then on top of that, it made me understand why she was the way she was. And Plus, the way she looks, she just looks so badass. So that's another one of the reasons. And then when she got to Mass Effect 3, how she changed her style up and she matured a lot, I was like, okay. And that made Jack one of my favorite characters. And that's why she's number 7 on the list. Coming in at number 6 is Samantha Trainer. And the reason why I like Samantha Trainer is because I think her personality is amazing. She has a really, really smart and intelligent personality. I like her accent, and I also like the fact that she's really, really good at chess. She has a better overall personality than Kelly Chambers, your other reporter from Mass Effect 2. She's an overall better reporter than Kelly Chambers, period. She gives you more information. She's always keeping you updated. She's always letting you know things. And Kelly was doing that too, but Samantha does it on a whole nother level. Like, it's more convenient and more like just thank you type stuff. Like, you know, I really needed that information kind of thing. So that and her romance is one of the most exotic romances. Even though, you know, she's a lesbian, you can romance her. You can only romance her as female Shepard. But I've never had a romance with her because every time I start Mass Effect 3, I'm already locked into another romance. And I like having like the perfect ending, and I don't want anyone to die or anything. So, yeah. But I do plan on making a playthrough with romancing Trainer, because she's one of my favorite characters in the game due to her personality and just, yeah, that's it really. Coming in at number 5 is Commander Shepard. And it's like, how could you not like Commander Shepard? I mean, you're forced to play with him throughout the whole entire Mass Effect trilogy. And then on top of that, he's the savior of the galaxy. And he's loved by everyone, and everyone wants a piece of that. So it's like, how can you not like Commander Shepard? Commander Shepard is like one of the main heroes next to Master Chief. Now that's arguable which one is better, but you know, it's just the simple fact that you can't just not like Commander Shepard, so he has to be on the list. And yep, I've always played as female Shepard though, but yeah, that's why he's on the list. That's number 5.
Shepard, your clone has entered the ship and is attempting to...
Inevitable in retrospect. Asari. Human. Turian. I'm surrounded by primitives.
Coming in at number 4 is Javik. The reason why Javik is number 4 is because he's a Prothean. We hear about the Protheans all throughout the series, and then we finally get to meet one, and a badass one at that. He's funny, he's like a comedian, and he's an asshole at the same time. So the fact that he's a comedian makes it so that he can basically be an asshole and then get away with it, because it's just you end up laughing at the end of the day. So he's one of the characters that made the series really entertaining, because you get to laugh at his jokes and just how he is. And also because since he's a Prothean, he has this ability to be able to sense things. He can use basically all of his senses. He has like a unique ability where he could touch something and look into their past, look into their future, just find out everything about that person. He could even go into a room, touch the room, and figure out all that went on in the room. And that's what I mean. He has like special abilities and stuff that I find personally interesting and unique. So that's the reason why he's number 4 on my countdown.
If you are undecided, it is not too late to throw her out the airlock.
Coming in at number 3 is Liara T'Soni. The reason why I like Liara T'Soni and the reason why she's number 3 on my list is because she's had your back since the very first Mass Effect. Whether you romanced her or whether you're just a squad mate, She is always there for you 100%. Then on top of that, she's the reason why you're even alive today, because when you died, she recovered your body and she gave your body over to Cerberus so that they can reconstruct you and bring you back to life. And then after you came back to life, she became the shadow broker, and then she was basically a huge information source to you throughout the rest of the series from that point on. She puts herself in danger for you, and she's just the true definition of a loyal friend. And I like how she's so dedicated to her work and her science and what she does. She was so dedicated to finding out the Protheans and what they were all about. She's just dedicated to her work, and I really like that about her. So that's what gave her a number 3 spot on the list.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Coming in at number 2 is, yes, the one and only Garrus Vakarian. The reason why I have him on number 2 is for obvious reasons. He's just so badass. And he's also one of those characters that stayed loyal to you from the time he met you until the time y'all got separated from each other. He's just been there for you. He has your back. He's down for whatever. When everybody else was turning their back on you because you were with Cerberus and they didn't want to have anything to do with you, Garrus was like, you know, I don't agree with you working with Cerberus, but I have your back. I'm with you. I trust your judgment. He stayed with you throughout the entire series. Even if you fail his loyalty mission, he still becomes loyal. Other characters, if you don't pass their loyalty mission, they won't be loyal. But Garrus is still loyal. And then on top of that, not only is he loyal, his personality changed a lot from the first Mass Effect on to the second on. In the first Mass Effect, he was more like just your typical cop. But after he got out there in the Terminus systems and in space, he ended up on Omega. He had all those, he was like the #1 cop on Omega, keeping all those gangs at bay. He had all 3 gangs coming at him, and I think it might have been more than 3 coming at him, and he kept all of them at bay by himself. He was like a one-man army. He became really, really badass after that. He became hardcore for real. But that's just one of the reasons why he made number 2 on my list. He's one of my favorite characters in the series.
I gave their leader my rejects for her army, but she grows impatient. It's time for you to take me out of here.
Irrelevant. Specify your dealings with the collectors.
Surprise, surprise! Legion is number 1 on the countdown. He is my number 1 favorite character, mostly because of his personality. And a lot of people don't know much about Legion's personality because we don't really get that much time with Legion, because you're only able to recruit him towards the end of the game, and it's like you don't really get to learn much about him. But PC players, they hacked the game and they got Legion early, and there's a video on YouTube with a bunch of hidden dialogue from Legion. He had dialogue from like the very beginning of the game, and that's because BioWare originally wanted it so that we can get the characters in whatever order we want. But since the Xbox 360 had limited disc space, they had to split the disc into 2 discs in order to play the game, and it switched up to where we could only recruit certain characters in the order that they give it to us, which kind of sucked in a way because we didn't really get to figure out Legion's personality. But his personality is very, very unique. It's fun, it's funny, and he actually plays video games. Legion plays video games, so that's pretty funny. And I think he is like the perfect sidekick. Like, he is just the perfect person to be a sidekick. Like, who wouldn't want a cool robot as a sidekick anyway? And plus, I like the Geth. That's like my favorite race. Then when I figure out the Geth side of the story to the Quarians, I realized that the Geth were really innocent the whole time, and it was just the Quarians that basically kept bringing upon their own demise. So that too made me kind of like leaning more towards the Geth side with the Quarian and Geth beef. The only Quarian that I really like is Tali. The rest of the Quarians can be thrown out of the airlock if all I care. But yes, Legion is my favorite character. I like how, and it seems as though for a robot he displayed a lot of like little hints of emotion throughout the series from Mass Effect 2 all the way to like the end basically. And it kind of made me wonder, like, you know, for a robot he has been displaying a bit of emotion, especially when you first wake him up and you start asking him about why did he patch himself up with your armor. It's almost as though he's obsessed with Commander Shepard, or he's actually in love with Commander Shepard. It kind of seems that way because it's like when he asked him that, he kind of was just like, no data available. It's kind of like, okay. It just seemed as though he just has a thing for Commander Shepard. And it kind of made me want to figure out more about this little robot here. And from that point on, I kind of like started saying, I wonder about this Legion character here. And it made him grow on me a little bit. And that's the reason why he ended up making #1 on my countdown. Mostly because I am a Geth fan anyway, and secondly because of his personality, and third because of the fact that he has a bit of emotion. He displays a bit of emotion for a robot. Not all the time, but there has been situations where it's like, Legion, why did you do that? So I found him to be a bit interesting, and that's why I ultimately put him as #1 on my list. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I would like to know you guys' top 10 characters in Mass Effect, and maybe we could have a little discussion in the comment section. Anyways, have a nice day, guys.